Yes, I'm using that trailer again. That thing cost me $10. I'm going to get as much mileage out of it as I can. All right, so now, granted, things have changed somewhat since I did that because the wording of it was based upon what Doomcock's whole thing about how they're trying to walk this back and so But I'm leaving it in because one, I want to spend another $10 to do a new one, but also the way this whole thing went down. I'm going to break this down again here. I don't think this went as far as Disney, and so far the only thing we've heard from the other side is that one statement from the anonymous spokesperson from Lucasfilm, and the phrasing is also sus because it is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, not fired, just not currently employed, which is typical in the acting world because once you finish a job, you're effectively unemployed and you got to look for another job. So here's what I think happened here. Okay. Somehow, someone poked Lucas, or someone just felt the urge at Lucasfilm. Or actually, I'm going to go with that. They've been gunning for months, and they figured the investor call-in thing was coming. So there's no way in hell Disney would have pulled the trigger on this and caused this PR nightmare on the eve of their big show. So. Yeah, I think it was leaked by the Favreau camp to try and embarrass them into, no, we can't fire. She's a bigger star. And then a whole chain of things gets going here. And apparently not even Favreau knew about it because he's pissed off as hell because they just canceled this, throw his star out in the cold. And they were going, again, I'm pretty sure they were going to build, Rangers of the New Republic around her and Carl Weathers' character. But basically, we weren't going to see her for a couple years anyway. Because they're not going right into production on Season 3. They're waiting until after they've done the Book of Boba Fett. And even then, whether they do Season 3 of Mandalorian, I don't think she was going to be in that season anyway. It's all pointing towards going back to Mandalore now. So it's going to be Bo-Katan and all that. And we weren't going to see, if we were going to see Gina at all, it would have been in first episodes. Okay, good luck on Mandalore, bye, and that would have been it. So in reality, nothing really, and also, we're talking Hollywood here. We're talking the entertainment industry. Things can change. James Gunn got back after horrible jokes about pedophilia and other things like that, and actually him sitting aside and laughing at you, buddy. There, but for the grace of God, go you. So shut the fuck up. All right. They will turn on you in a second and you know it. So you better just shut up. But also, I think, that, again, see, Mandalorian's over. She's looking for stuff to do. So I imagine she was probably already working on this development deal long before Ben Shapiro called, hey, you want to do something? Well, as a matter of fact, I do. Here's my script. That's why because nothing happens fast like that in Hollywood. She's already got something in the pipeline. And I think, now while Favreau probably didn't know about it, he's certainly taken advantage of it, I think. In the fact that Warner's wants him bad to take over DC. Or the DC movie stuff. And that's quite a bit of, quite a bargaining chip with Disney, because he's been a good soldier. He's done crap he didn't probably necessarily agree with, but he's done it. And the Mandalorian's the only thing at DC, maybe Clone Wars, is the only thing at Lucasfilm that's working, that's bringing the fans back, and is selling. The Cara Dune figures were the best selling things anyway. Now, with this little news, they're going for over $1,000 on eBay. Congratulations, Kathy. Your little minions over there created a martyr. And as such, I think this might finally give Favreau the push he needs to drive her and her little band of idiots out. Because, it's reaching a point, Disney cannot just sit back and let this go on. One, it's unusual they let any of this go on, because usually you work for Disney, you're clamped down. You don't make these your social media presence is no, because you represent us. And they've let Lucasfilm run loose, and that's got to come to a screeching halt. Because they managed to keep the stock price ramped up, but they are losing subscribers. Yeah. Like people had signed on, no, it's going right back down again. And this is pissed off fans at points like they ain't gonna come back. A lot of them, they've been burned too many times. So, but give it, a few. Her Kathy's contract is up in September, and I seriously doubt any of her little minions down below her have anything close to an ironclad contract like she's apparently got. So if she goes, the rest of them will be in very short order out the door. And then finally have Lucas loyalists running the place again. And this little bit of drama will finally come to an end. I do like the notion that you don't have to worry about them instituting a retcon of the sequel trilogy because it's already there. Ahsoka being alive is all it takes just to completely invalidate the sequel trilogy, because one of the things is, when Rey was having a little vision of all the Jedi saying, "You can do it, girl, you got it," one of the voices was Ashley Eckstein as Ahsoka. Well, that's Ashley Eckstein. That's Ahsoka as a young Ahsoka, young little snips. And we got Rosario Dawson as all grown up Ahsoka. So obviously, the original idea was that Ahsoka would have died back when she was a youngster. Well, we can thank Ezra for snatching her out of that timeline and saving her, for invalidating the sequel trilogy. Pulling her out of the timeline. And since she lived, therefore, she's able to do these things and avoid that little detour into hell. So, then this is not really based much on, because I don't have any inside source. Nobody tells me anything. This is all me theorizing here. But I think by September, October, this thing will finally shake out. Kathy will be gone, or at least heavily curtailed. She won't be running the place anymore. Favreau will finally get the headshot, the head front office thing. They can start getting rid of these idiots. Pablo Hidalgo, I hope you have invested wisely. And just get rid of these morons. It's like, why on God's green earth, if you hate Star Wars that badly, would you work for Lucasfilm? That's what built the place. There was a statue of Yoda out in the front courtyard. The sound place is called Skywalker Sound. People are morons, okay? And they clearly don't care about making money. One, it's not their money anyway. They're still getting paid. But they don't care if the company goes belly up, because they got to maintain their principles and fight for the cause. Well, screw the cause. The cause is idiotic. And like I said, Disney and the Bobs, Chapek and Iger, they're going to come to Jesus moment pretty soon here and realize this cannot go on. Because it's no longer a matter of just keeping Lucasfilm afloat. It's going to start. It's already sucking the blood out of Disney trying to keep this thing going. And one thing Disney's, a big cornerstone has been merchandising, and Star Wars especially. That's what really made it the juggernaut, was the merchandising sales. And merchandising is flat. The only bright spot they had was Mandalorian stuff, Baby Yodas, dark sabers, and then they figured Cara Dune was selling out the wazoo. Not anymore, because they canceled them. We can't have the talkie pages in here. Oh, really? And it also doesn't help the picture when 24 hours later, this supposedly anti-Semitic Nazi type gets hired by an Orthodox Jew. So much for that story, you idiots. Now, so it's gonna take several months to shake out, because it's bureaucratic nightmare and by finance and whatever else. And an increasingly desperate studio that doesn't have their, theme park cash cow to rely on anymore. They're talking Disneyland that's going to open until like December. Walt Disney World is only really open because Florida is not, an insane asylum, and is, mainly open. So anything they do there is pretty much self-inflicted. But they're not at capacity. No way there. Who's going to want to go down there anyway? Wearing masks? not the very happiest place on earth. But give it a few months. Give time for a little bit of fiscal sanity returns. That we're losing our shirts, and her fault, and her morons behind her. Get them out of there, while we still have a company to run. And then things will finally straighten out. And I think then, I said, to really drive it home, they can't just do it quietly where she's off to pursue other person. No, she has to make it they have to make it very public. She's gone, and this is why. Favreau's in charge now. Come back, please. So on that note, PayPal, Patreon, subscribe star, yada 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 down below. And we'll talk at you later.